on the Voice of Anchor this week. We are Team Alpha and we are discussing about how we are all supporting hashtag Break the Bias. It's not only about women's empowerment, it's also about equality. And it's about walking the talk. We are also discussing the creator economy and what it means. In the next few episodes on my podcast, with that theme in mind, I interviewed my dear friend Sarah, also known as the Lettering Gems. Hi, this is Dr. Amrita, and you're listening to the Doctor's Creative Diary podcast. And here's the show. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the Doctor's Creative Diary podcast. Tell me a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do.
Okay, hi Amrita. Thank you for inviting me on your podcast, and it's always a pleasure to be a part of something which involves people to speak their voices. And thanks a lot for making me be part of this. So about me, okay, I'm a hand lettering, calligraphy, and visual artist. I'm a creative designer and also an art educator. So this is about me, and I've been into teaching for a very long time, and then I quit my teaching job, and now I do all of my stuff online.
So online is quite wonderful. I think, we can reach so many people just beyond our geographical margins. And this is
completely agree on that.
Yeah. And your lettering journey, how did you train yourself to become a lettering artist? Because I have seen you do very beautiful watercolor, and you use beautiful different kind of stickers and stuff to make your entire composition look very pretty and always beautiful. So how did you train yourself to become an artist like this?
If you look at my Instagram or any of my social media profiles, you will find art is my niche written over there. Like, that's what the biggest thing is about me. I mean, I have for a long time been so confused as to what exactly should I choose: watercolors or hand lettering or gouache or acrylics. And I'm sure there are many people like me who are confused to choose just one niche. So for me, art is a niche. I try to attempt as many things as possible, be it watercolors, be it lettering, be it journaling, bullet journal, the one which you're talking about, the stickers and stuff, that is journaling. I use art as a way to de-stress myself. That's how I began having love towards art, is whenever I would do such things, I'd feel so relaxed, and I love to do all these things, and it makes me feel so relaxed. And I used to read earlier people mentioning about art making them feel relaxed and stuff. I always thought those are just book stuff and people are just talking about it. But once you get into it, and I'm sure Amrita, even you can relate to it, because we've known each other from Tangi. There was an app on Google, and I do remember you were always so enthusiastic to participate in each of those challenges. And I remember you attempting each and every kind of art, be it lettering, watercolors, and stuff. So I'm sure you can relate to this, that anything creativity of any kind is definitely de-stressing for yourself, and that's what made me get into all this, and that's what I have to say.
So you loved experimenting and you kind of learned by yourself. So you are self-taught, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I do have a short qualification in arts, but
Okay.
basically I have done my graduation in humanities, so
Okay.
art wasn't much in my learning phase.
Okay. And any online teachers and courses you had taken which helped you train as an artist overall? I see you whenever you letter words and sentences or anything, you always try to give a little bit of twist to it. So, it makes people
Yes.
pause and think. We are not just looking at the composition, but also what you have written, because it feels like you are trying to tell a story through that even one word of lettering. So, do you have any inspirations who have inspired you to do it this way? Like the self love thing I see on your profile here, it shows that you try to take care of yourself on a daily basis. That's very important for you. So, any inspiration behind that?
Yes, as regards about your question, the first part, any online classes and stuff, I think there's a website called Domestika where I've learned a lot. I mean, there are a lot of things on Domestika, a lot of niches like calligraphy, lettering, watercolors, and There is one artist, especially in watercolors. Her name is Anna. I would definitely love to share her link to those courses, and that has taught me a lot. Believe me, that was the best watercolor course I've ever done. I For a long time I've been looking for a watercolor course, a course where I would learn from basics. And I think that course ignited my watercolor passion. And it really, I mean, that is a course that will definitely, by the end of the course, you will go from a beginner to a professional. It's that kind of a course. So Domestika has been one huge platform for me that has taught me, that has let me learn a lot of things. And apart from that, uh, I think, we have on Instagram and on social media, lots of artists from all around the world. And like, I don't have a one particular person. I mean, the list is huge. So when initially you start your journey and you start looking on social media like Instagram, on Pinterest, you find so many artists, a lot of works with different, everybody has a different style. And then you get overwhelmed with it, and sometimes you don't know what exactly, and you get confused that should I use this, should I use that, and in between that process you develop your own style. So whatever you just now told me, that I usually, in my captions, I do remember, I was writing some quotes in my caption, and you've always been very positive in commenting on my posts. And then I realized that actually people do read the captions. So, yes, because
That's a good point about Instagram. Yes, people do read, but you will have to make them stop first with your video and your painting or picture, because otherwise they will not click and read it. But it's interesting whenever I read, and if I find whatever they have written interesting, then I follow those accounts. Like, I like the pictures, and then I will read whether they are making sense. Otherwise, you just scroll through. So yes, I remember you were doing very nice work on those single words, and you were writing different
yes,
meanings.
yes.
Yeah, that was very
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah, I do remember, especially your comment. I remember that you mentioned that in the previous post also you've mentioned uh, it's very deep and something like that. So it was your comment that actually triggered that, okay, so people do read the comments, read the captions as well. Okay, then I should
Hmm.
be writing more captions now.
Hmm.
So that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
captions.
remember that one. Belief. I had posted a word belief, and I had written a caption. There is a reason why there is word lie in belief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And also there is rust in trust, something like that. Also,
Ah,
you had written.
exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And I smiled because, these are very nice things, but you have to think a lot when you write all this. So I was
Yeah.
thinking you are lettering it, then you're thinking about the caption, or whether you're thinking about the word and then lettering it, what comes first. So I always try to think about the artist whenever I see their art, picture the person behind it. What was she thinking, or what was he thinking while doing this? So this is interesting. One day, maybe when we meet, then I will kind of see whether my imagination matches up to seeing you. The captions say a lot, actually. Words and art say a lot about a person, and it's one of the most, I think, a real way of knowing people when you see them create art or read
That's
their
true.
fiction, because you really can't hide behind other stuff, because then it will not really be very, what shall I say, it will not
Authentic,
call, yeah, it
exactly.
won't be authentic, it won't call to your people, because there we all have, as artists, you will always have somebody who likes your kind of work. So if you want to find your true audience, you will have to kind of be true. So this was
Yes.
interesting that you remembered that I commented on it. So the artists do read the comments, so anybody who wants their favorite artist to look and check out their profile, they should definitely go and comment. So that works.
Yeah,
Uh,
yes. I mean, you are not only appreciating them, but you're also making them know that yes, somebody is following you and somebody actually wants you to post or be there. Your presence actually matters. So this really
it's a
does matter
two-way
if you go
street.
and come.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's a two-way street. It doesn't just happen with one person seeing and the other person ghosting. So it doesn't
Mm,
happen like that. Yes.
that's true.
So
Completely.
Sarah, what are your top tips for young people who want to be an artist full time and do it professionally?
First of all, there is one quote which I've mentioned in my Etsy shop, also highlighted it. Every child is gifted, they just unwrap their packages at different times. I love this quote. I completely believe every person, every child is gifted with some creativity. It depends on the person to, I mean, how should I put this in words? See, it's like if you look at something and you feel like you can do it, then just do it. There are a lot of things you see on Instagram, on social media. In your feed, you will find a lot of videos, art related, planting, cooking. When you look at something, then you feel like I can do this. So if you feel like you can do it, then just do it. Maybe you might turn out to be a master in it. And this I have realized only after browsing through all this social media stuff and all. I realized that actually, yes, it's only after you're going to attempt it, you will realize how good you are at it. Like, for example, I'll give you an example of copper plate calligraphy. I would always look at people doing copper plate calligraphy where you insert the nib, the holder, oblique holder, and then you letter it. And it was so fascinating to watch all that. And then once I decided, no, I'm going to just try this. I'll buy a oblique holder and then I'll try it. And believe me, it was only I tried it that I fell in love with it. So this is what my advice would be to all the younger people. And I usually give this advice to my students as well, that if you feel you like something and you get attracted to it, then just attempt that thing. Attempt it, and maybe you might not be so perfect in the first time, but there is a reason why you got attracted to it. There is a reason why you liked it. Maybe you saved that post. So just attempt it. You might not be perfect in first go, second go, but then initially, or maybe you might be perfect in the first go itself. So my advice to all the youngsters would be that you are creative. You are born creative. You don't know. You are born with a gift. It's taking you time to unwrap it. So just attempt it, and then only you will come to know how creative you are. I don't know if this is making sense, but I'm a complete believer in this.
This is actually very true. Like, you have to try it before you say you can't do it. And only after
Perfect.
trying, you do understand that maybe this was the thing you have been looking for all your life. So that could be it too. So we should always try it. That's what you were saying, right?
Yeah, perfect. You keep trying it and challenging your creativity, and maybe you never know you're a master in it unless you attempt it.
Unless we attempt it, we don't know whether we are a master in it. And we have to keep trying and practicing
Yes.
before we actually become masters. Sarah, what about mental health and creativity? This pandemic has made, online art classes and mental health almost like, help for each other. Like, there are a lot of people who are going to art and doing art stuff so that they feel better. So as an artist, do you feel mental health comes first, like it's when you're mentally feeling good and you're creative, or whether creativity helps in your mental health? What comes first?
See, I feel both are interconnected. I cannot say mental health comes first or art comes first. See, it's art that works as a healing factor to your mental health. Also, it's creativity that sparks the emotions. Since you're a doctor, you might be knowing much better about this. That I've seen a lot of doctors advising the people, like normal, like I'm not just talking about a psychiatrist or a psychologist. They even general doctors who ask their patients to indulge in creative activities to divert their minds. And actually, it really, really helps in your mental health. The creative process actually helps in your mental health. Both of these are interconnected to each other. It's not necessary that if you are perfect in your mental health, then only you can be creative. No, sometimes when you're more stressed, in depression, when you do creative stuff, this actually, becomes a factor to de-stress you, or it actually becomes a healing factor for you. Art, creativity, like in creativity, there's a huge diaspora, like gardening or cooking or stuff is there. So choose any creative project and do it. And I totally believe both of these are interconnected to each other, and both of these help each other to help creativity, health in mental health, and mental health, how should I put this, mental health can improve through creativity.
Very true.
I
Yes.
hope I'm making sense.
Yeah, you're making a lot of sense. Yes. Actually, we don't know which comes first. When you're feeling good, you can create beautifully. And sometimes when you're not feeling good, when you start creating, you feel better. So
Perfect.
I get that. And there is actually a lot of correlation between art of any kind and good mental health. I have written one book about it, how to walk right and garden to your, most healthy self and happy self. Because on that point, I was not actually painting when I wrote that book, and I was talking about writing as a source of inspiration and feeling better. But when I found in the pandemic that I could hardly write because of all this lockdown, and I was feeling very claustrophobic, stories come from meeting people, and when you're not meeting people, it's like, you and three other people in your home, and then you don't know what to write. And then when I started painting, I realized these things are all connected, art in any form. Some people sing, some people create music, you can dance, and all this help in the mental health thing. It's not in isolation, they are part of one big whole, whichever way you're expressing. So yes, I get what you're saying. It actually, we don't know what comes first, it's all together. We have to keep trying, both trying to be healthy and keep trying to be happy while we create art. It's quite interesting.
I would like to share something which you can completely relate as well. I feel the Tangi, the Google art platform. When I joined Tangi, it was in February 2020. I think amidst just around COVID 2020, right? I think that Tangi was a big, huge thing that made me go through COVID. I mean, it actually kept me busy. And all those people who were on Tangi, I definitely feel each one of them would relate to this. It kept us busy, and it did not let us, feel left out compared to all the people maybe who were not there on Tangi, or maybe who were not there on such a platform where togetherness was there. On Tangi, the kind of challenges, the kind of stuff which you would come up, that actually kept us busy and connected to the world. In comparison, if maybe we were not on such a platform which gave us this kind of togetherness through challenges and all, I think we would have gone more, we would be more disturbed, or maybe more left out if we were not on such a platform during the COVID time, which I truly believe.
Yes, because we were not sure what's going to happen. And Tangi was a very nice way of forgetting all the mess that was in the outside world. And we were just challenging ourselves to remember the good part and creating together. And it was a very nice platform. There were no strange comments, and you didn't have to check the algorithms every day.
Exactly.
And they actually helped the artists create a little bit of income while creating, and with no irritation. Yeah, that was perfect, because nobody was interfering with what you were creating, but they were creating a atmosphere where you could earn. So that was wonderful. I felt that about Tangi too. And it was a Google's very interesting experiment, after which I think YouTube Shorts were launched very successfully. So everybody is into short video platform nowadays, and you never know, we might meet on another platform like that. And I really hope like people remember that positive social media need to be promoted. All the other stuffs which are so negative, they seem to be growing richer and bigger. The positive stuff, they shut down. It's a little funny, really. Lessons to be learned. We found each other. Many of us learned to create art through Tangi. I don't know how I fell on it, but it was wonderful. I didn't paint after I was 9 years old. And after Tangi, like I paint a little bit every day, whether I post or not, doesn't matter. It makes me feel good. So that's very interesting.
But we don't have shorts over, YouTube Shorts is not there. Geographical location.
Okay.
Yes, we cannot post.
Oh, you don't have that. Okay. But Instagram Reels are really doing well. Have I told you? I try to read books on lettering so that I learn. Because that's my problem. Like I try to read everything, like you can hardly read without doing it, right? So nowadays when I'm waiting for some patient to come in my chamber and I don't have a patient, then I'm like doodling and try to letter a word or something. So I have lots of little chits where I try that, and it's fun. Maybe one day I will be confident enough to start lettering again, but nowadays I'm feeling a little, you don't have that. Instagram is very big, you feel a little awkward sharing your attempts.
That's true.
It's very
one of the reasons why I have like gradually I became less frequent on Instagram, because the engagement thing is actually very depressing. When you post something and people are not liking it, it's like you're doing so much of hard work. So I feel Pinterest is more engaging than Instagram.
Pinterest has now a try it option also, just like Tangi. They have a try it option. Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Completely agree with you. And this is one of the reasons why today Instagram has launched the creator subscription option. Have you
Hmm.
seen that?
No, I haven't seen. I wasn't on. I just checked Instagram once. So I was like,
Uh,
I didn't check. Okay, so they have a creator subscription. I did see something like that,
but
but
it
you,
is not yet launched on
no, no.
all the profiles. Only to presently only 10 or 11 creators in USA will be getting that option. Then gradually all around the world people can subscribe to your profile, and they will have to pay you something like kind of Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon is
Yeah,
a
kind
good
of
platform.
Patreon.
Yes, yes, Patreon is a good platform. People do a lot of good work, but even then, it's not very easy. Like Tangi was, do this creation.
That's true.
It was a good way of monetizing, but we are getting out of our interview. We are chatting.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's
I
get
think because
back.
the first time we're chatting, no, that is why.
Ah, yes. And you gave me some
Yes,
very interesting news, which I'll have to check out because this is so
yes.
interesting. Because if you go, I'm always interested in Google and Amazon news because these people have money. Facebook and Instagram, they are
Yeah,
so
that's true.
fickle. You don't know what they're going to
Hmm.
do next. So let's get back to the questions. Sarah, how do you think, someone can learn from you, take classes, buy your work? Tell us how they can find you online.
Okay. How they can find me online through various social platforms of mine. I'm on Instagram, on Pinterest, on Facebook. But the most active is I'm on Instagram and on Pinterest. And my shop, I have a shop of digital goodies because since where I am located right now, it becomes very difficult for me to ship objects, though I have a plan, God willing, that I'll have my own brand of stationeries, that is stickers, journals and stuff, which they're still in making. So that'll be based in India because right now my geographical location doesn't allow me to do the shipping part. It's very it's not
Tedious, expensive and
yes,
tedious. It's going to be
very,
expensive.
yeah, very,
Yeah, it will
yes,
not
very
make a
expensive.
lot of profit if you are going to ship from there.
That's true.
You
That's
need a
true.
print
That's
on
true.
demand on the Indian shores so that you can get it
Yes,
on the right
yes,
hands.
yes, yes.
Yes, that's
So that
you're trying, right?
uh, yes, yes. And one more thing which I'm working on, which I've been working on for a very long time, that is my own lettering workbooks.
Oh,
And
that's
that will
wonderful.
be, yes, and it will be very easy to learn. I mean, just now what you told me that you read
Yeah,
lettering books,
I
this
have a
will
lot
be
of
kind
lettering books. Yes, I have bought a few too.
of,
So yes, I will be your first. I think you can sell me all
yes.
your books later. I'll probably buy all of them.
That's so sweet of you. That's so sweet of you. This will be a basic, just give me 2 minutes. There's prayer going on right now in the mosque. 2 minutes. Having my own lecture.
Just start. Okay.
Okay, so I have plans on publishing my own workbooks that will be very basic, starting from very basics and in very easy uh, words and language, so that it will be very easy for the person who's reading it to learn through it. And yes, a range of workbooks starting from beginner level to uh, flourishes and practice sheets and stuff like that. So it's been a very long time since I've been working on it, but due to a lot of things coming in between, I couldn't complete it up, and it will be 2022. I'm like I will be definitely doing it within 2022. And another thing, my shop, I have an Etsy shop by the name of Lettering Gems Portal, where basically I sell my own digital products. That is Procreate. Do you know about Procreate?
Yeah.
Procreate is a lettering app. Yes. So on Procreate, I design brushes, and in fact, I was the first one who designed the metallic brushes on Procreate app, and that's how I opened my shop. Because when I posted about it on Facebook, I had a lot of people messaging me, where can we buy this? So that was a very turning point for my career, for my online career. Because of that, I opened my Etsy shop, and I was there on Etsy for a very long time. But just because people asked me, where do you sell it? I opened a shop, and within a month, I sold like 100 brushes.
That's wonderful.
So yes, that was the beginning of my online selling career. And now I have around just let me have a look here. I have around 669 sales, and that's it. That the name of the shop is Lettering Gems Portal. I will include a link. I'll send you a link. You
Yeah,
can
yeah, I'll
post
put
it.
it in the description. Yes, please do send me a
Perfect.
link. So that's
Yes,
very wonderful. Without much worrying, you just started selling online, right? You didn't
yes,
overthink
yes.
it. Okay,
No,
that's
because
good.
people were asking me questions, and I felt this was the perfect time to open a shop. Why not? And that's what I sold.
And did you do this like after you got married? You started selling online and everything. You did it after marriage, right? You didn't do all this before.
Yes, yes, yes. Because
Okay.
yeah, before marriage, I never thought about all these things because my family was very old school, and we were not much. I was not much into internet only.
Okay.
After I got married, I started this career. Though I was as a teacher, I was working as an art teacher. I was working in school, and that is a huge different story about it. How I started an art education, teaching art education. After I did my 12th grade, I joined a school along with my studies. That is, I was doing through Open University because we don't have colleges over here. So I was doing through Ambedkar University in India, that I would study here, go to India and give exams. So
Okay.
during that time, I decided that I'll work as well and study. So my stay here, I would study and go to India and give exams in March, April, May, around that time. So during that time, when I joined Delhi Public School. I know you might be
Okay.
knowing about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Name is quite renowned. So
Yeah.
here in Jeddah, DPS, I was teaching in DPS.
That's
So
wonderful.
initially, when I joined, yes, I joined as a physical instructor, PE teacher. I was very much interested in all that games
Okay.
and stuff. Then one of my senior academic directors, she would look at my handwriting, and when I went into interview, I was just a girl out of 12th standard, and I had my home science record with me. And in
Okay.
home science record, we had menu making and stuff, all that. So that was a I had done some creative stuff over there. So
Okay.
that record book I had left on my in my interview. I left it on the table of the academic director, and later on, maybe she went through it and she called me in, and she said that instead of just a physical instructor, I want to hand over you as an art teacher job as well.
Wow.
So from there began my art journey. I never had my dreams as well that I would become an art teacher.
That's
So
wonderful.
thanks to Mrs. Archana Bali, she was the admin director. She gave me this job, and that's how I became an art teacher.
Oh, the teaching children basically is like a gift. Yeah, it's a
That's
blessing and a
true.
gift. Yes, you can explore your
Completely.
creativity and then don't judge. Whatever you draw, most of the time, until they are grown up, they will
Yes,
not
yes.
judge. They will enjoy
Even
it.
if you draw something not so good, they'll be like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yes.
wow, that is so
Yeah.
beautiful. That is
That's
the
the good
feeling.
part. Yes. That's wonderful. So you
Motivation.
enjoyed being an art
Yes, yes,
educator. Okay.
yes, yes.
So did you leave
I
that
did.
or are you still continuing?
No, and then I got married, and
Okay.
just before I got married, I stopped and I started this
Okay.
online. So
Okay.
that's all.
Oh, that's very, very nice. It's a nice journey. Like you started your arts journey teaching and then you
Yes,
learned more. That's really interesting.
yes, yes.
What do you do daily, Sarah, to stay creative and keep this creativity and happiness inside you?
Okay. Just like any other artist going through an art block, I have been through art block a lot. Like I just stop myself from social media posting stuff, but I do keep myself making something or the other at home. So the thing is, now since 2022 started, end of 2021, I have started keeping a journal, and in my journal there are different columns where I have started writing what I have to do tomorrow, what I have to do today, and what is more on my priority list. And I definitely feel keeping a journal actually really helps. Initially, when people would tell me they keep journals, I would feel that is a waste of time. But now, when I have started jotting down stuff in my journal, I really feel then the things are on your mind that this is the most number one in priority, so I should do this first. Because when you write down things you have to do, they'll be right in front of you, and it'll be, your mind will always be telling you that you have to do this, and you definitely attempt it. So writing down things, which my father would always tell, that write down things so you'll remember what is more important to do first. And a lot of people who are successful, they write down stuff and then they do it. And I believe that has been a huge part in my process of becoming a good, having a lot of engagement on Instagram, because I would write down stuff, make it like for hashtags or stuff, all those things important, I would note them down, and that actually helped in my productivity and in my routine as well.
Okay, so writing down stuffs in journals have helped you. This I need to try because I keep forgetting to write down, and I have so many things on my mind. I should probably write it down and get more done then. Okay, this I'm going to try and get back to you, Sarah. Since you're saying previously you didn't like doing
Perfect.
it and now it's helping
Yes.
you. Okay,
Yes,
this is
yes.
a good tip. Now I'm going to ask you something really icky. This is money I'm going to talk about.
Mhm.
So, what are the different ways artists can make a comfortable living in this digital age? Like, somebody who has some experience and doing some good work, what
Mhm.
platforms, sources they can explore to make money online?
See, there are a lot of platforms, but as a beginner, no platform is beginner friendly. If only you keep on posting stuff, then you get the business.
Yeah.
For example, you might have heard of a website called Fiverr, FIV.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
if
yeah.
I'm pronouncing it
Yeah,
properly,
Fiverr.
Fiverr. Yeah, where you get gigs, like if you are an artist, and if you are a logo artist, people want you to design logos and stuff. But all these places are not so beginner friendly, because people tend to choose only that person who has a lot of reviews. But
Yeah.
remember, don't make this thing stop you from doing things. It is only when you keep on posting your work, and then only you will come into what should I say, you will be recognized, and people will start looking, somebody will give you the first commission, and that way you will build up. Similarly, there are some websites where you just upload your designs, and they print on demand, the one which we've spoken earlier also, those kind of things. I haven't tried those websites, because I feel this thing where people think that beginners don't have that much scope over there, that has always stopped me from posting over there. And I do regret it, because maybe if I would have started this a very long time ago, I would have been somewhere around very successful over on those platforms. But yes, Etsy has been a wonderful beginner friendly platform, as well as for people who have a lot of skills. Just start it, and reviews actually really matters for any platform. Reviews matters a lot. So that part I cannot say, because I have been myself targeted with reviews where people have used stuff, but they left negative reviews, so that your sales drop. So this also happens on online. Yeah. So
My
be
God.
prepared for all of this. Yes, be
Okay, that,
prepared for all
that
of this.
happens too.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. That
But why
happens from your
would, but
competitors.
oh, acha, the competitors can do something like that. Okay. So that's
Yes,
not very
from
fair. That's,
yes. So you should be prepared. Like for those people who are not yet there on, who have not yet had their shops or stuff like that, you should be prepared for all that kind of negativity as well. And be if you're prepared, then you will not let that thing affect you. Initially, that would really affect me, and also. This is a huge topic, Amrita, the imposter syndrome and like that.
yeah, it's a
I have
problem.
been through a I would not like to mention the names or stuff, but on digital platform like Procreate is a digital app. I designed a brush which I had shared with a few artists, and then I came to know, I out of goodwill I have shared that, and later on I came to know that somebody was selling that, and they've, like, in a month they've earned more than $1,000 from it. So this also happens. So you
Okay.
have to be prepared on social media that all these negative stuffs also do happen, but you don't have to let it affect you. That's what I would say. I think I'm drifting away from my question,
No, but
but
you're right.
it just came.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. We have to kind of keep all that in mind. Copyright laws are not very clear about all these things, and who goes to sue people left and right, right? When you're starting off,
That's
you don't have
true.
a legal team suing off people who are stealing
That's
from you.
true.
That
Completely.
happens on every platform, and somebody who does that will have only a little bit of glory. Afterwards they will run out of people to steal from, and then that would be a problem. So
That's completely true.
yeah, because they'll have to go on stealing, right, to make more and more money. So that's not going to be easy. And I do believe in last interview with Thea, she also mentioned something that she believes in karma. Like, what goes around comes around. If it is a good deed you're doing, and there is a you're sending off positive energy into the world, if God willing, you will get back all the good that you deserve. But yeah,
Yes,
this is
yes,
a
yes.
this is an important lesson. We should be careful whom we make friends with and share our creativity with. That's also very, very
That's
important.
true. It's only when you learn a lesson you understand all this.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
giving this advice to people before
oh,
itself. That
mm,
be careful before trusting people. You never
yeah.
know who's gonna use your work and earn
Yeah,
from it.
that's problem. That's a problem, especially if you are doing something like a brush, as you said, which you had not started selling yet. Because once you sell,
Yeah.
you already have that first creator stamp type thing. Intellectual property laws, they are there, but you will have to, somebody has to impose it, right? So you will have to
Hmm.
actually do the legal legwork and find the people. And until and unless it's a very big platform who is doing this, then it will be, it's not going to make much sense suing everybody.
Exactly,
Because
exactly, exactly. And on Instagram or on social media as well, if the person who's doing this has a lot of followers, more followers than you, then
it's very
this is what has
difficult.
happened with me. Yes,
Okay.
because
So
this is what has happened with me. They had a lot of followers, more followers, and you cannot just drop into each one of their followers' inbox to let them people know that this was actually my creation. Then you just wait for karma. That's it.
that is a big problem, because even then you will need, you have to do a lot of stuff which you will not feel good about. You will feel irritated that you will have to do this. So that was a
Yes.
good lesson that you shared. We'll have to remember that part.
Your next podcast should be on imposter syndrome, how to deal with it. I'm sure there's so many people out there who want to talk about it.
Yeah, it's yeah, all creatives. We all do, like everybody, but we
Yes,
have to still start somewhere and do it every day. This was
that's
very
true.
interesting conversation, Sarah. Some essential points creative artists should keep in mind when they are doing commissioned work. Like, I think you do brand works, right? So what
Yes,
what kind of things, like, creatively, how much input you allow brands to give you, or whether you want a complete free hand? What should people keep in mind when they start a
see,
project which
first
is
of all,
commissioned?
how to let people know that you're doing something, how brands should know that you're doing something. The first thing is uh, keep tagging them, but don't make it so much obvious that they get irritated and block you.
Okay. Okay. So do
Tag
it
them
like
on only
once a
essential.
month or something, right? What kind of
Yes,
frequency
yes.
should we tag all the colors and everything, the brands that we use? So once a month,
See,
right? Okay.
tag them only on the essential stuff. For example, uh, take an example of maybe a brush pen, pencil brush pen.
Okay.
So if you're using a pencil brush pen, if the post, I would not say don't tag them every time, but I'm sure you'll not be using pencil brush pen on your every post. So tag them, but don't tag them on each post of your, even if you're not using a pencil brush pen. So
Okay.
don't tag a pencil. So that's what, and I think, yes, this has actually helped me. This is how brands have approached me, because I was tagging them on posts where I use their stuff, and then they approached me that we would like to send you a package or stuff like that, so that you use it, and as a PR package you use it and you post it on your social media. So that's what I was going to that's what I would tell anybody, that tag the products which you're using, so that the brands should know that you're using them. And another thing is commissioned work. Basically, commissioned work, I haven't done much on internet. I have done it physically here.
Yeah, even
I
then you
have
can
done.
share your experience about, how you take input from your client, and how much creative freedom would you like, and how to, put your foot down some if you think the client is not really giving you the right brief? How do you go about things like that?
So first of all, I would say if you want your work to be commissioned by a or sponsored by a brand, or you want somebody to approach you for your work, I'd say be active on Instagram. I don't know, Amrita, if you were present in my Instagram course,
Oh,
how to
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I did it. Yeah, I did. Yeah, your
yes,
Instagram
how
course.
to
Yes.
grow organically on Instagram. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the main points over there that I've mentioned is uh, when you are posting stuff, use the proper hashtags. If you remember, I had
Yeah.
mentioned the hashtags
Hmm.
are divided into three
Yeah.
different aspects. So one of them is if you want work in your own geographical location, I would suggest is use those geographical hashtags to gain work from your locality, from your geographical location. So just recently, like about a few months ago, just 2 or 3 months ago, I had one of the biggest project of my life online. It was not supposed to be posted on social media, so I would just keep it in wraps. Not much I can share, but I would definitely say Instagram had a huge role to play in that. They found me on Instagram only through my hashtags, and they approached me to letter invitation cards for a huge firm. So I was first of all a little surprised that on my profile I don't mention my geographical location because not many people are interested in lettering over here.
Okay.
But in my hashtags, I did mention the geographical locations and stuff. And I came to know that they were going through hashtags and they found me, and this is how they approached me. So that was really very overwhelming because that's what I've been teaching my students on Instagram, growing Instagram organically. I've been teaching people from a very long time that use hashtags appropriately if you want work within your geographical location. And this is how they approached me. One thing I have learned, which I would really love to share with everyone, is for the pricing thing, keep your pricing fixed. Do not keep changing for people. I mean, people will lose trust in you and interest in you if you keep changing your prices based on people. For example, if you're looking at a brand and automatically one brand you're giving them this much price and another brand you're giving that much price, then it's like you're not being honest and true to yourself and not being honest to your work. So make a proper pricing list for yourself and share it with people so that they know exactly this is your pricing list. So that I
This
have learned very through a hard way, where I was asked by people to work, and then after I finished working, then I was asked, what are your prices? And when I mentioned the prices, they were like, that is too much. So that was my mistake. I should have told them before, and I should have kept the price list before itself.
That is very important. I actually, whenever I write sponsored posts, that's the first thing I tell them. And I also mention about I expect from new people who I'm working with, they should pay me 50% in advance so that way my
Perfect.
work is also compensated, and if they don't like my work, that also can work out better, because otherwise people go on saying ki you edit this and you edit that, there are 20 times back and forth, that is too much, right?
Mm.
So if I'm going to trust them about
Mm.
giving them my work, they can trust by giving me 50% of what I deserve, right? And I always mention how much I'm going to charge beforehand. And if they want some
Mm.
kind of discount or some multiple project kind of package, that also I can mention, but money I talk front, otherwise I don't go forward, because this is a problem. After you have worked and given your heart and soul and people are like, you are charging too much, what do they know?
True.
How
Yes.
much time you have
So mention
spent.
it in your portfolio. Mention it in your portfolio that
Yeah.
if, like, for example, you might have seen on Fiverr website, they have different tiers of
Yes.
like uh, beginner and moderate, something like that, and professional, where they mention that if you want changes to be made twice in this much price, you can make the changes only twice. In this much price, you make unlimited time of changes. So that I think is really wonderful, that is actually keeping a boundary, setting a boundary for your customer as well, that they cannot misuse you. Are you
True.
getting it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That is very important because as creative persons, one feels a little awkward talking money because, we are supposed to be artists. But without
Exactly.
money, it's going to be a problem. And you need that
Yes.
part properly taken care of because paint does take money, right? Nobody's giving it to us for free.
That's true.
And
Yes, yes.
so we need that. And even then, you need money for other stuff also. We would like to earn from our endeavors in whichever field we do, that be science
Yes,
or art or
yes, yes,
anything, right? It doesn't
yes,
matter.
yes,
If you are
yes,
giving good work, there should be some kind of help with monetary terms. So we have
yes.
almost come to the end of our conversation, and I will be asking you a few rapid fire questions. And don't worry, they are not very scary. I hope. Okay, here they go. What's your favorite color?
Black and white.
Oh, favorite Bollywood actor and actress?
When I was small, Sanjay Dutt was my favorite,
Okay.
but right now nobody.
An actress.
And actress, I like Vidya Balan. She's so
Okay.
raw. She's just honest what she is, and that's it. Nobody
Okay.
else. Yeah, Madhuri Dixit.
Oh, okay. I think everybody likes her, right? Madhuri Dixit
Yes,
is
yes.
everybody's favorite actress. Okay. And I
And
also
Kajol.
like. So you like, you have three actresses whom you could mention, and nobody after Sanjay. That is tough, right?
Yes.
Okay. So none of the Khans, you don't like Shah Rukh, Amir, or Salman. You don't like any of them. People are going to be heartbroken.
They're all okay. I mean, they're good, but I mean, not favorite.
Okay, so you like
They're good.
Sanjay Dutt. Okay, very interesting. When should we wish you? When's your birthday?
21st of March.
Okay, 21st of March. Interesting. Your crazy big goal for 2022?
Publishing my workbook as
Okay.
soon as possible.
Yes, you have to let me know when you do that because then I will update it on this podcast description also. That would be very helpful. Okay, na? So everybody has heard about your plans. So if they want easy workbooks to start off lettering, they will just have to wait a few more months before Sarah gets them published, right? And they will be available
I
in
feel
India.
so motivated. I
Yeah.
feel so motivated.
No, you must do this. We have to put this up on everywhere when you get it done because that's a very big thing, getting your workbooks out because
Yes.
books and they will be,
Oh.
you will be sending people gifts from even when you are not physically present there, right? Even from some
That's
different
true,
geographical
that's true.
location, some different part of the universe, wherever. It'll be
Initially, it
wonderful.
will be a digital publication. I will
Even
be
then.
posting it a digital version.
Yeah.
Then it will. I hope it will be really successful that I will publish it in hard copies. Of
So
it.
you do have Amazon Kindle there, right?
Yeah, we do have Amazon Kindle.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we
then
do
you
have.
can definitely get it there also, because then you can have POD options, print on demand through Kindle itself, Kindle Direct Publishing. They have a print on demand option, and then you can do hardcovers also, and digital also. And digital in the Kindle format, you can provide a PDF link in the book itself. So that way, they are getting it permanently on their Kindle, and they can download it as a PDF and reuse it if you want. If you don't want that as a problem,
that's a wonderful option. Yes,
Yeah,
first,
because
let me
it's very
finish it
easy.
as soon as possible.
Yeah, you can.
Then I'll think of Kindle. First, it will be on Etsy, then on Kindle and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's very good. Like, you can go slowly and see and tweak it because I found Kindle very easy to work with, and they have a nice
Yes,
way of
true,
paying
true.
regularly, and you don't have to check too much. You just need the keywords and stuff. So if you need help with that, you let me know if you want to do stuff on Kindle.
Yes, that sounds very interesting. I'll definitely get in touch with you for that, especially.
Yes.
Because I have been part of Kindle, like a lot of books I've read on Kindle, but I never thought of publishing on Kindle. But thank you for this suggestion. Thank you so much.
Very easy. They have this Kindle Create on if you have a Windows laptop, it's very easy to use. So you can kind of play around with it since you are already doing Procreate and stuff. So you are comfortable with the digital platforms, right? Using different, and it's very easy. Like it's actually very easy. It's drag and drop. So you try those out and let me know. So that's interesting. I look forward to your workbooks now. Okay. This is exciting actually. 2022. I think workbooks are very good for lettering, especially because we need to practice before we can create by ourselves, right?
Perfect. Yes.
So I think
practice
your ideas
sheets are really very important. That actually really builds your lettering skills.
Yes, it's like cursive writing workbooks we used to have at school, right? Like my daughter still does them, and it's actually very useful to practice those in workbooks. Okay. So your favorite source of inspiration, Sarah?
Favorite source of inspiration, Pinterest.
Okay. And your word for 2022?
My word for 2022 is determination and patience.
Oh, so Sarah doesn't like the rule about only one. She wants to do two, three. So that's very good. I think
I
you
always
have.
keep two options, choose three options.
Very good. You should always have A to Z options. That's what I feel. There should be limitless options because as artists, you are creating options every day. There's a new art you're creating every day. And this was really wonderful chatting, Sarah. I didn't feel like this was an interview. We were having so much fun discussing all this.
Exactly.
Yes. So next time we meet, hopefully it will be with your workbook, and then we can get into the nitty gritty of how you got into it, how you created it. That would be a wonderful podcast too, I think. So I will wait for you to get it published. And best wishes, Sarah.
Thank you for having me on this podcast, and you actually got me motivated to really publish the workbook, to attempt more, make more videos, and thank you so much. It was really lovely, and thank you for reminding me of Tangy days, and thank you so much for being part of my journey. Like really, all the people who get in touch with me, who interact with me, and who let me know that they look at my art, you're actually helping me in my journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. So goodbye and good night.